Today, our topic is the problem of evil. Can it ever be solved? The problem of evil is one of the oldest and most difficult questions in philosophy and religion. It asks why bad things happen if there is a good and powerful God, or if the world is supposed to be fair. This question has troubled people for centuries, and many thinkers have tried to find answers. Let us explore this problem and see if we can find any solutions or ways to think about it. First, we need to understand what we mean by evil. Evil can be divided into two types: moral evil and natural evil. Moral evil is the bad things that happen because of human actions, like violence, cruelty, or injustice. Natural evil is the suffering caused by nature, like earthquakes, diseases, or floods. Both types of evil cause pain and raise questions about why they exist. If the world is governed by a loving and all-powerful God, why does evil exist? If the world is random and without purpose, why do we expect it to be fair? One way to approach this problem is through the lens of religion. Many religions try to explain evil. In Christianity, for example, some people say that evil exists because of free will. God gave humans the freedom to choose between good and bad, and sometimes people choose bad. This freedom is important because without it, humans would be like robots, unable to truly love or do good. But this freedom also means that people can do evil things. This explanation works for moral evil. But what about natural evil? Some say that natural disasters are a result of the world being imperfect or a consequence of original sin. Others believe that suffering has a purpose, like teaching us lessons or making us stronger. In Buddhism, the problem of evil is seen differently. Buddhism teaches that suffering is a part of life, and it comes from desire and attachment. The goal is not to explain why suffering exists, but to find a way to end it through enlightenment. This is a practical approach, focusing on what we can do rather than why things are the way they are. Hinduism and other religions also have their own explanations, often involving karma, which means that our actions in this life or past lives determine our fate. Philosophy also offers many ideas about the problem of evil. One famous argument is the free will defense, which says that evil is the price we pay for having free will. Without the ability to choose evil, we could not truly choose good. This idea is often linked to the philosopher Augustine, who believed that evil is not a thing itself but the absence of good, like darkness is the absence of light. Another philosopher, Leibniz, said that we live in the best of all possible worlds. He believed that even though there is evil, this world is still the best one God could have created because it balances good and evil in a way that allows for the greatest overall good. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, offers a different perspective. Stoics believe that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we react. They say that suffering comes from our own thoughts and judgments, not from the events themselves. For example, if someone insults you, the insult itself is not what hurts you, but your reaction to it. Stoics teach us to focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. This way of thinking can help us deal with evil and suffering by changing our attitude. It does not solve the problem of why evil exists, but it gives us a way to live with it. Another approach is to look at the problem of evil from a scientific or naturalistic perspective. If we do not believe in God or gods, then evil is not a problem of divine justice, but a part of nature. In this view, suffering happens because the world is governed by natural laws, not by a moral being. Earthquakes, diseases, and other natural evils are not punishments or tests, but simply the result of natural processes. Moral evil, like violence or cruelty, comes from human nature and society. This perspective does not try to explain evil as part of a larger plan, but accepts it as a fact of life. The challenge then is not to find a reason for evil, but to find ways to reduce it through science, education, and social change. Some people think that the problem of evil cannot be solved because it is based on a contradiction. If God is all-powerful, all-knowing, and all-good, why does evil exist? This is sometimes called the inconsistent triad, because these three ideas cannot all be true at the same time. If God is all-powerful, he could stop evil. If he is all-knowing, he knows about evil. If he is all-good, he would want to stop evil. But evil exists, so one of these ideas must be wrong. Some people solve this by saying that God is not all-powerful, or that he has reasons we cannot understand. Others say that the idea of God is just a human invention, and the problem of evil shows that God does not exist. But even if we cannot solve the problem of evil, we can still think about how to live with it. One way is to focus on the good in the world. Even though there is evil, there is also kindness, love, and beauty. Many people find meaning in helping others and making the world a better place. Another way is to accept that life is full of challenges and that suffering is a part of being human. This does not mean we should give up or stop trying to fight evil, but it means we should not expect life to be perfect. We can also look for meaning in our struggles. Some people say that suffering makes us stronger or teaches us important lessons. Others find comfort in the idea that their suffering has a purpose, even if they do not understand it. The problem of evil also raises questions about justice and fairness. If the world is not fair, how should we act? Should we try to make it fairer, or should we accept it as it is? Many religions and philosophies teach us to do good and fight evil, even if we cannot eliminate it completely. This is not just about big actions like ending wars or curing diseases, but also about small acts of kindness like helping a friend or being honest. Even if we cannot solve the problem of evil, we can still make a difference in our own lives and the lives of others. In the end, the problem of evil may never be fully solved. It is a deep and complex question that has no easy answers. But thinking about it can help us understand ourselves and the world better. It can also inspire us to live better lives, to be kinder, more compassionate, and more resilient. Whether we believe in God, karma, or nothing at all, we all face suffering and challenges. The question is not just why evil exists, but how we respond to it. Do we let it defeat us, or do we find ways to grow and help others? This is not just a philosophical question, but a practical one that affects how we live every day. So, can the problem of evil ever be solved? Maybe not in a way that satisfies everyone. But we can still find ways to live with it, to make sense of it, and to make the world a better place. Whether through religion, philosophy, science, or simple acts of kindness, we can find meaning and purpose even in a world where evil exists. The problem of evil is not just a question to be answered, but a challenge to be faced. And in facing it, we can become stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. That, perhaps, is the best solution we can hope for.